Hello and welcome to Plan REI. Please make sure you watch this video before you proceed. Otherwise, you will not know what's going on and you won't comprehend what I'm trying to show you. These are possibilities that you can do in your life to make it a whole lot easier. Alright, so who am I trying to send my message to? Well, how many of you are struggling right now? How many of you struggling with paying bills, not having money now or for the future? You're having trouble making ends meet. How about balancing work time with family time? Are you frustrated with not having a solid plan? Well, stick around and I'm going to show you how you can remedy all these. First, I'd like to start off with a real quick exercise. So if you have a pencil or a pen, or if you'd like, just think about this in your head. I'd like you to take the next 25 seconds and answer what you would do with $1 million tomorrow. If somebody came up to you and gave you $1 million, what would you do with it tomorrow? So once you finish writing down what you would do with this $1 million, or you think about it, just put it aside. We'll come back to it in a later slide. So the question is, how much do you really need? Well, that all depends. Let's say you retire at 50 and you want to have 20 years of retirement. Now, let's say every month for those 20 years, you're taking in $3,000. You'd have to have $1 million in your bank account for you to make sure that you have these 20 years paid for. Now, let's say that you want a little bit more money so you can travel or really enjoy your retirement. Let's say you want $15,000 a month. Well, you'd have to have almost $5.2 million in your bank account to make this possible. $5 million. I mean, who is really going to save that much money for their retirement? It's very tough. So I would like you to change your mindset. How about making $15,000 per month now forever? And you can choose whenever you'd like to retire. So you want to know how? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'd like you to consider real estate investing. Imagine not paying for lifestyle, mortgage payment. How about a car payment, your insurance for your car and your mortgage? How about your monthly bills? You have to eat, you have to have water and electricity. How about hobbies? How about education? How about not having to come up with a tuition and make life so much easier for you to study and not stress over exams? That would be great. There are a multitude of things that you can do without paying for it. So how is this possible? It's simple. If you own property, you can have tenants pay for everything. Now, you also have to create the right business entity at the right time so you don't have to pay outrageous taxes. You have to understand retirement accounts because these are the keys to having a really good retirement, is understanding what retirement accounts are and how to put money in them. You have to follow a strategy that has already helped create smart investors. There are thousands of investors doing this nationwide every single day, and they are creating their wealth and they are creating a great money for their family. So you ask, what's an example? How can this benefit you? Well, you want to know a secret of how the wealthy do it. This is how they do it. Let's take for instance that car on the left. It's a really beautiful car. It's a really expensive car. So let's say that the car payments are $650 a month, and your insurance is $100, and your gas is roughly $150. So you have to shell out $900 every month to enjoy this car. But if you have property and every month each of these properties are giving you $300, then 3 properties would equal 900. Simple math. Now, if you use this 900 and you apply it towards the car payment, then essentially what you're doing is you're getting a free car. Right? All right. So the game plan is real simple. When you own multiple properties, you can essentially have them pay for everything in your life. Everything. Your car, your house, your bills, your entertainment, your luxuries, whatever. You can that's how they pay for everything. But you have to be aware though, this must be done right so you can avoid high taxes. We teach investors how to secure their wealth by saving on 2/3 of their income. And so, why don't many people know this? Well, here's the truth. American education is flawed. We are not taught this in any school, have it be high school or college. They don't teach this education to us. The U.S. is ranked 14th in education. So, at one point, we were first, and over the decades, we've slowly dropped. And as our education has dropped, our unemployment has risen. So you can see what is essentially creating our unemployment and our everyday individuals in society not knowing about this stuff. 60% of college graduates that get a job 60% of graduates, get a job in a field they didn't even study. So a lot of these kids go to school for 4 to 6 years, and when they come out, they have to find a job now in the workforce. And chances are they're not going to get the job that they were studying for. So they have to take an entry level position that has a starting salary between $45,000 to $60,000 before taxes. So on top of the fact that they have to save for their monthly expenses, their lifestyles, and bills and mortgage and whatnot, you also have to set aside some money to pay back this education. 88% of graduates leave higher education already in debt. So you're going out into the workforce and you're getting a job that's not paying as much as you'd want, and you're trying to pay back a loan for an education you're not even using. So it's pretty crazy if you see it from that standpoint. So we're led to believe that getting a great education and working hard is the only way to make great money. This is false, because there are thousands of people making extraordinary amounts of income that don't have degrees. But a lot of them do go back to school because they want a degree. It's more of a status thing. So we're tricked into thinking if you only save a small percent of your paycheck, you will have money to retire with. This is true for certain instances. If you save a small percentage of your income, and your income and your salary at the end of the year is $45,000 to $60,000, it's pretty tough to actually save for a retirement. Now, if you're making $250 plus a year, then it's a little bit easier, but in the end, you're still not able to make as much money as you think you would be able to need when you retire. So this is known as the American nightmare. By 65, you are either dependent upon your children or living in hospice, or you are either working. 5% are either dead, 4% are financially independent, and 1% are wealthy. 1% of the population that understand what money is and what it does are wealthy. The remainder are either working or having to rely on somebody else. Seems pretty bad, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is the American dream. There really is, but you have to open your eyes and see it. Of that 1%, 74% deal with real estate negotiations or are business owners. 10% are attorneys and doctors. 10% are CEOs and presidents. 5% are salespeople, and 1% have either won the lottery or have inherited money. So, out of the 1%, 74% are real estate investors. And that is basically telling you that this is the one way to be successful in life is to learn how to do real estate. So, what makes our school any different? Well, we teach education for real life scenarios. Education that we should have learned in school, and namely financial education. I'm talking about understanding mortgages, taxes, interest rates, things of that nature that actually we use every single day, that we live our lives by. These are things we should have learned when we were in school. But our school, what we do is we teach you how to structure a real retirement while you're young enough to enjoy it. You know, retiring young is great, especially when you're able to do activities that you'd want to do. Retiring at 65 is good, but you are limiting yourself with health factors. So wouldn't it be easier and a lot more enjoyable if you retire at a very young age? So we also teach that when we make sure you understand that owning real estate is the way to financial freedom. It truly is. It truly is. We also teach you how to understand how money works and how tax laws work. Because if you make a lot of money and you don't understand how tax laws work, then you are pretty much going to be throwing your money away every single year. We also help you create goals that will actually return wealth. And through strategies that we have in our schooling, it makes it a lot easier for you to comprehend and actually apply them in real life. So why do people fail? Well, not having the right education. It really is imperative that you have the right education to know what you're doing. There's no real plan to create and maintain a business. You know, people create businesses every single day, and the statistic is 61% of business startups fail within the first year, and it's basically because they don't know how to create and maintain a business structure. Not having the right mentors. You really have to have people who have experienced these situations and have knowledge, so that you can bounce questions off of them and they give you advice. So our school has thousands of mentors and people who enjoy helping people within our community. Some people believe it wasn't meant for them, and it's true. There are some people that do not want to do anything for more money, so they don't desire the want to have more money. They're satisfied with life, and you know, those are those people. Some people surround themselves with negative influences that keep them from succeeding. This is so true. And this is basically your inner circles. Your inner circles are the people that are either helping you succeed or keeping you down. If your inner circles keep you down, then I suggest you change your inner circle. If your inner circle are the type of people to want to help you succeed and love to see you succeed, then those are the people you need to be around with more. And let's just face it, some people are just too lazy to do the work. So they work for others and are happy with an hourly rate. This is crazy. If you are the best at your job and you're number one in your office or number one in your career, but you're still earning an hourly rate or a salary, why don't you believe that you can do this for yourself and create wealth, create money, lots of money for yourself instead of for your boss or the company you're working for? So why should you invest in real estate education? Well, why not? You don't have to have a license. You don't have to be a realtor or a broker. You don't even have to have a college education. You know, it would be great, but you don't really need one. You don't have to drive to a dead-end job. You don't have to go to the same office every single day, talk to the same people, do the same work, and go home, make sure that the house is in order, eat food, spend enough time, with your family, and then get in bed in time so that you have enough sleep to get up in the morning and do the same routine over and over every single day, every single week, every single year. It's pretty nuts. You don't have, you could quit earning peanuts. This is really true. You can make a lot more money if you understand and comprehend the strategies and actually apply them in real life. Then you can actually make a lot of money. You can do all the things you want to do in life while having others pay for it. And by the examples I've shown and what I'm trying to show you is, you can pretty much do whatever you want in life, but you have to make sure you structure your money right. Make sure that you have tenants paying for this lifestyle. Otherwise, if they're not, then you just got to replace them. Somebody's always has to live somewhere. So this actually creates your steady stream of income that you live off every month. You also learn how to pay less in taxes. And we have great classes to help you understand tax laws and taxes and how to make sure you don't get overtaxed. One great thing about this is, once you learn and implement these strategies and become successful, you can educate others around you. You can educate your family, your friends, those people that mean dear to you. Everybody loves to see family members succeed, but how much more beneficial would it be to you emotionally if you help them succeed? It would be great. And lastly, you leave a legacy for your children. And this is very important, because when you own property, you can leave the property to your children so they continue to make money. So they have a really great life once you're gone, and they teach their children. So you keep the cycle growing, you keep the cycle going, and you make sure that none of your family has to ever rely on somebody else. There's money always coming in. So now that you know all the things that are possible and what education hasn't been taught to us and what you can learn and the possibilities of what you can do with the education that we teach, I'd like you to consider changing your life. I'd also like to leave you with this little excerpt that George Carlin had said, and I'll show it to you. I'd like you to read it, and I'll read it to you as well. So it goes like this. Governments don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. That is against their interests. They want obedient workers, people who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept it. Now, if you understand what this means, then it should really enrage you, because since the beginning you've been roadblocked. You've been told that you have to go to school, you have to get an education, you have to get a good job in order to have a good life. It's true in certain situations, but for the most part, it's a false idea to think that you have to go to the same job, you have to do the same type of job, you have to earn an hourly pay, you can only set aside a little bit of money for your retirement, and once you're retired, that's what you live on. And for the most part, once you've depleted your funds, now you have to rely on other people. So now that you know, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to passively accept this, or are you going to put your foot down and decide that you can create your own future, that you can change the cycle? I really hope you do. So as far as that $1 million question, that $1 million exercise we did in the beginning, How many of you thought of getting a new home, buying a new car, maybe getting some new clothes, maybe travel? Well, the truth is you'll be broke in 2 years, so you better change your mindset. You're pretty much going to run through that money like a lottery winner. Now, if you said that you would save some money and put it in a savings account, and once you retire, you can live off of that. Well, it's a natural tendency for humans, and especially Americans, to know that if you have money set aside and you come into a financial dilemma where you need to take money, you're going to constantly keep dipping out of that savings account. So pretty soon you'll end up exhausting your funds. So you'll probably be broke in about 5 years. Now, if you said that you would invest, then you're on the right track. So don't waste any time. Just contact me, and we can start the process. We can show you how to create and start your own business and have wealth come to you. So my question is to you: would you want to be rich for 2 to 5 years, or would you rather be wealthy for many lifetimes? Something to think about. So I'm going to leave you with this. This is a personal quote that I live by, and I hope you find it inspirational. So, a person's success is direct result of their will to achieve. And this is so true. Have it be in any situation. Have it be an athlete, have it be a business owner, or a student. In order for you to succeed, you have to have the will and the want to achieve. So I hope you do have the will to achieve, and success will come to you. So thank you for watching this video. Feel free to look through the website. We have an educations tab. Check out the tab, check out the curriculum, and see what you would all the classes that you're able to learn. If you like to start this process, please feel free to contact me. I have a contact page, and send me your email and your telephone number and best time to get in contact with you. Thank you, and God bless you guys.